Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So for this video presentation, I will present about fruit and seeds development in my subject which is HR 499 crop science. So before I start my presentation, I would like to introduce myself which is my name is Mohamad Solehin bin Mohamad Amin and I'm from class M380 to 402A. My number matrix is 2025433316 and this presentation is prepared for my lecturer, Technologist Dr. Siti Khadijah binti Abdul Karim. Okay, so this is the list of content for my presentation. So basically for my presentation, I divide by two main parts for the fruits and seeds. Okay, firstly I will go for the introduction of fruits. Next is type of fruits that have four type of fruits. And after the fruit sections, I will go to the introduction of seeds, seeds components, seed development, which is in this seed development have three stages of seed development. And next is I will go to the seed germination types. And lastly, conclusion, which is I will conclude the whole of this subtopic. So for the first one is introduction of fruits. Fruit is a major ovary of flowering plants. The plant use fruit to protect and disperse by animal or way to reproduce. And for the example, fruit is very important for the parent plant to make them survive in the future. So now is the type of fruit. Okay, for the first one is simple fruits. Second one is aggregate fruits. Third is multiple fruits, and lastly is the accessory fruits. So for the simple fruits, I will explain very detailed. So simple fruit is a fruit that developed from just one flower with a single ovary. All the edible parts come directly from the ovary without involving any extra flower tissues. So the second type of fruits is aggregate fruits. So for the aggregate fruits, it start from the one flower, but the flower has a bunch of tiny ovaries in it. After pollination, each of those little ovaries grows into a small fruit and they are attached see like one fruit. So we can look at the image which is the outside of the berry is a little ovaries which is they are attached each other to make or to see like a one fruit. So for the number three is multiple fruits. Multiple fruits is a big fruit that a form that create by many flower and fruit merge into one to create a fruit. For example, is pineapples. As we can see, the outside of the pineapples, which is in the skin part, we can see the tiny hexagonal shape. So basically, the hexagonal shape is a tiny flower that have a ovary. So after fertilization, they are become a small fruits from the tiny flower. So after that, they are attached each other with other flower to make a big fruit, which is a pineapple. So lastly, for the type of fruits is accessory fruits. Accessory fruits are fruits that form from the ovary or other parts of the flowers. So the fruit we eat is not only from the ovary but also from other parts of the flower. For example, apples and pear. As we can see in the picture that I give is the center parts of apple is the ovary, but the outside of the apples that we eat is other part from their flower. Okay, after the fruit sections, I will go to the introduction of seed. So seeds are the basis for the plants before they grow to be a mature plant. Seeds also contain genetic information from the parent plants, and seed is a mature ovule that contain an embryo, reserve tissue, and outer cover to protect them from water and animals. Okay, for the seed, seeds have eight components, which is they have embryo, endosperm, seed coat, cotyledon, epicotyl, hypocotyl, radicle, and lastly is plumule. Right now, I will explain every each component inside the seed. So the first one, I will start with the three main parts in the seed. So the first one is embryo. Embryo is basically we call a baby plant inside the seed. Second is endosperm. Endosperm play as a storage nutrient like protein and fats for embryo when it start to grow. And lastly, for the three main part is seed coat. Seed coat is the tough layer that protects seed from insect, fungi, and other that can damage the seed, for example like water or animals. And after that, I will go to the other part in the seed. So for the number one is cotyledon. Cotyledon are first leaf when the seed start to sprout. And number two is epicotyl. Epicotyl, the tiny shoot that will be young stem if the seed start to sprout. And for the number three is hypocotyl, the stem between seed and leaf and root after seed start germinate. And for the number four is radicle. Radicle is the first root to be an anchor for the seed to get the nutrient and absorb the water. And lastly is plumule. Plumule is the shoot system for the plants to create first leaf and stem. Next is the seed development. Seed development has three stages. So for the stage one is histodifferentiations. So this stage is a building phase but for the seed and condition of seed still soft and watery. And we go to the stage 2, which is stage 2 is a cell expansion. This stage the cell start grow bigger and load up with the nutrient to get ready before the baby plant to grow. And for the stage 3 is maturation drying. The seeds start losing a lot of water and become dry. So, seed will become hard and start enter survival mode to get ready for germinate if the conditions are right. So, for germination type have two. The first one is apigeal germination and hypogeal germination. So, this video is to explain about apigeal germination. So the first one we look at the video is the process begin when the seed start absorb the water and activate the embryo inside the seed. The radicle emerge first and develop into the primary root, which is the first root for the seed, and to be as an anchor for the young plant. And after that, the hypocotyl start to elongate, and this upward growth is what pulls the cotyledons above the soil surface. And once the cotyledon reach the light, which is start to reach above the soil surface, and they open up and usually turn green color. And at this stage, they function as temporary leaf that help the seedling carry out photosynthesis until the true leaf develop. So this is just for apigeal germination process, and after this I will explain about hypogeal germination on the video too. After the explanation of apigeal germination, right now is hypogeal germination video process. So for the first one, it's still the same as apigeal germination, which is the seed start absorb the water and activate the embryo inside the seed. And after that, it's still radicals start to grow, which is to form a primary root as an anchor for the first young plants. And but the hypocotyl does not push the cotyledon upward, which is the epicotyl grows and brings only the young shoot above the soil. So the cotyledon remains safely underground and provide nutrient food for the developing plants. And as the shoot grows taller, the first true leaf appear above the ground. And in this type, the cotyledon stay hidden below the soil, which is not same with the epigeal, which is the epigeals grow upwards. The cotyledon is grow upward, but for this hypogeal germination is they be below the soil surface. So that's it for the germination types. And after this, I will proceed to the conclusions. So the lastly is conclusion. In conclusion, seeds and fruits are important for trees to reproduce so they can continue their generation. In addition, fruits are reproductive agent to be spread by animal and humans, while seeds have total cells and will grow after the fruit has been spread by animal and human. And the seeds will begin to germinate when the weather and place or the environment where they are spread if they are suitable or comfortable to germinate. And that's it for my presentation about fruits and seed germination. So For before I end this presentation, I want to say thank you for my lecturer, which is Dr. Siti Khadijah, for guide me to present for this subtopic. So that's all from me. Thank you.